What if I told you that you could start a successful business with just $100? No investors, no fancy degrees, just your skills, passion, and a bit of hustle. That's exactly what teaches. Real people, real businesses, and real freedom. We're talking about ditching the 9-to-5 grind, setting your own hours, and being your own boss. No more soul-crushing commutes, no more answering to a boss who just doesn't get it. This is about taking control of your life and building something meaningful on your own terms. Throughout this video, we're going to break down the key principles from and show you how you can apply them to your own life. Let's break it all down. The first step to building a successful business is identifying your unique intersection of passion and skill. What are you good at? What do you enjoy doing? And most importantly, is there a market of people willing to pay for it? Take Brett Kelly, for example. He was passionate about Evernote, a note-taking app, and he was really good at using it. So he saw an opportunity. He wrote an unofficial guide to Evernote and started selling it online. Guess what? He made over $100,000. The point is, you don't need some groundbreaking invention or $1 million idea. Often the simplest ideas are the best ones. What skills do you have that people would pay for? Can you teach a language? Design websites, write resumes, bake incredible cakes? Don't underestimate yourself. Think about the things you're naturally drawn to, the things you can do effortlessly that others might find challenging. That's where your sweet spot lies. Remember, the goal is to create something valuable that solves a problem, fulfills a need, or simply brings joy to others. When you do that, the money will follow. One of the biggest mistakes aspiring entrepreneurs make is undervaluing their products and services. They get caught up in competing on price, thinking they need to be the cheapest option out there. But here's the truth. Value trumps price every single time. Let me tell you about an artist I met. She created beautiful, personalized pet portraits. Now she could have charged a few bucks per portrait and tried to churn them out like a factory, but she knew her work was special. It was about capturing the unique personality of each pet, creating a treasured keepsake for their owners. So, she charged a premium price, and guess what? People lined up to buy from her. They recognized the value, the artistry, the emotional connection she poured into her work. When you focus on providing exceptional value, you attract customers who are willing to pay for quality. Don't be afraid to charge what you're worth. I know what you're thinking, but Chris, don't I need a 20-page business plan with charts and graphs and projections? Here's the thing. Business plans are great in theory, but they can also be paralyzing. You can spend months perfecting a plan and never actually take action. What you really need is a bias toward action. Don't get bogged down in the details. Start with the essentials, a product or service, a way to sell it, and at least one customer. Let me tell you about a couple who started a successful travel gear company. They didn't have a fancy website or a warehouse full of inventory. They simply wrote a blog post about their favorite travel gear, shared it on social media, and boom! Orders started pouring in. They launched their business with a single blog post and a whole lot of hustle. They validated their idea, learned what worked, and built their business from there. Remember, the best way to learn is by doing. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, to iterate, and to pivot along the way. Chapter 4. One of the most important concepts is the idea of the micro-business. Micro-businesses are small, nimble, and incredibly powerful. They're not about building empires or chasing unicorn valuations. They're about creating sustainable income streams that give you freedom and flexibility. Take Gary Leff, for example. He was a frequent flyer guru, a master of airline miles and points. He turned his knowledge into a consulting business, helping people travel the world in style without breaking the bank. Gary didn't need a fancy office or a team of employees. He ran his entire business from his laptop, leveraging his expertise and the power of the internet. The beauty of a micro-business is that it allows you to start small and scale up over time. You can test different ideas, find your niche, and build a business that fits your life. Chapter 5. One of the biggest myths about starting a business is that you need a ton of money, resources, and connections. The truth is, you can start with what you have right now. I met a woman who turned her love of baking into a thriving business. She didn't have a storefront or a commercial kitchen. She started by teaching artisan bread baking classes right out of her own kitchen. She used her existing skills, her passion for baking, and her home kitchen to create a successful business. She didn't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect circumstances. She started where she was with what she had. Look around you. What skills, knowledge, or resources do you already have? Do you have a spare bedroom you could rent out on Airbnb? Could you offer freelance writing or design services? Could you sell handmade crafts on Etsy? The possibilities are endless when you start with what you have. Chapter 6. In the world of startups, speed is key. Don't wait for perfection. Seriously, don't get bogged down in endless planning and analysis. The best way to validate your idea and get feedback from the market is to launch fast and adjust later. My friend Steve Cho's wife is a perfect example of this. She had an idea for a wedding handkerchief business, but she didn't overthink it. She created a simple website, sourced some handkerchiefs, and launched her business in a single weekend. And guess what? Her business took off. She made over $100,000 in her first year, all because she was willing to launch fast and figure things out along the way. The key is to start with a minimum viable product, or MVP, the simplest version of your product or service that you can launch with. Get it in front of customers as quickly as possible, gather feedback, and iterate based on real-world data. Chapter 7. As entrepreneurs, it's easy to get caught up in the latest trends and shiny objects. We're bombarded with information about new marketing tactics, social media platforms, and business strategies. But here's the secret. You don't need to do it all. Honestly, trying to do too much is a recipe for overwhelm and burnout. Instead, focus on what's working and ignore the rest. Once you've launched your business and started generating some traction, pay close attention to your data. What's driving the most traffic to your website? Which marketing channels are generating the most leads? What are your customers saying about your product or service? I know an online course creator who tripled her revenue simply by focusing on her email list. She realized that email was her most effective marketing channel, so she doubled down on it, nurturing her subscribers and providing them with valuable content. Remember, it's not about doing more, it's about doing the right things more effectively. Chapter 8. In today's digital age, authenticity is more important than ever. Customers can spot a fake a mile away. They want to connect with real people, not faceless corporations. One of the best ways to build trust and loyalty with your customers is to be transparent and authentic in your communication. Don't be afraid to show your personality, to share your story, and to be vulnerable. I met a freelance writer who had a unique approach to pricing. She posted her rates and her entire process on her website for everyone to see. She was upfront about her fees, her deadlines, and her expectations. And you know what? It worked. Clients loved her transparency and her no-nonsense approach. She was booked solid for months because she was willing to be open and honest about her business. Remember, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And the best way to build that trust is to be yourself. You don't need permission to build your dream. You just need $100, a skill, and the courage to start. What are you passionate about? What skills do you have that could translate into a business? Remember, the world is full of opportunities for those who are willing to see them. So, what's stopping you? Your $100 startup begins now. Like, share and follow for more real-world business breakdowns. Let's turn your dreams into reality, one $100 startup at a time. Starting a $100 business is exciting, but staying ahead requires constant learning. What if you could gain insights from the greatest entrepreneurs, innovators, and thinkers, while on the go? Whether you're walking, commuting, or relaxing, audiobooks are your secret weapon to success. Visuals of people listening to audiobooks while walking, driving, or sipping chai at home. Good news! Your first audiobook is absolutely free. Imagine diving into powerful business strategies, financial wisdom, and life-changing ideas, all in one tap. Start your free trial now. Access thousands of best-selling books. After 30 days, it's just $2 per month, and yes, you can cancel anytime, no strings attached. Click the link in the description and fuel your $100 startup with knowledge today, because the right idea at the right time can change everything. Show an animation of someone clicking the app, selecting a business audiobook, and smiling as they listen. Your journey to building a $100 startup isn't just about action. It's about equipping yourself with the right tools for success. And what better tool than timeless wisdom from the greatest minds in history? High-energy visuals of book covers and famous authors like Dale Carnegie, Napoleon Hill, and Joseph Murphy appear on screen. And if you love reading game-changing books, we have an unbeatable deal just for you. Show visuals of the 4 book covers with glowing effects. Build lasting connections. Unlock limitless potential. Master timeless wealth-building principles. The ultimate blueprint for success. For just $4, you get the wisdom of legends. Show limited time offer flashing on the screen. Don't miss out, order now. Countdown timer effect appears on screen. Success starts with the right knowledge. Click the links in the description and claim your 4-book bundle for just $4 before the deal expires. Final CTA screen appears with a glowing Start Now button.